All right, Anthony on Air podcast. We're back for another episode. We got a Ghislaine Maxwell photo finally and some financial details on her. Plus what she's being trusted to do now in prison. Will be surprising for you. Tom Cruise freaked out on the set of Mission Impossible. So we're going to get into that. Plus there's a biopic coming all based on Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee, and the internet is freaking out over who's been cast in those roles. So we'll go over all that and a little bit more. Frankie C is here. Jay Sabs is with us as well. Episode brought to you by our good pals over at Hero Soap Company. It is not too late to grab some for the holidays. Grab it in the link in the description below. More on them in a second.
Other way, Janine. Other way. There you go.
We're a bit disheveled tonight, but we're here, and that's all that matters.
Frank, I need to be your whiskey. That's all I have to say.
I did not hear that, Janine.
What? See?
Good. Exactly.
Tonight, I need to be drinking Frank's whiskey.
That's not a whiskey going.
That's what she said.
Okay. We don't have a prison photo of Ghislaine, but this is a never-before-seen photo of Ghislaine and her hubby. Just before he became her hubby, he was still married to his other wife. They could be seen here in this shot. And if you notice, if you look down at that glass of wine right there, there is a wedding ring still on my man, Scott Borgenson. So there you go. 2013 photo of Ghislaine Maxwell. Everybody's been wanting to see a photo of her. There's your never before seen photo of her.
Yeah, but they want a photo of her.
Now,
her mugshot. They want her behind bars photo.
Yeah. Well, people will get to see her when she walks out the front door of the prison because she's going to get bail. So basically, stick around for that. A couple interesting things here, though, and we can move to this quickly because it's there. It's nothing like shocking, but I've been obsessing over her money, and I'm saying that she doesn't have money. If you had to guess, Frank and Jay Sabs, let's go with Frank first. How much money do you think Ghislaine Maxwell has?
Her personal worth, I'd say 10 mil.
Janine?
I'd say
25 million. You know what? We're not going to go Price is Right rules on this, and I'm going to give it to Janine. It was $22.5 million. That's what reportedly the Daily Mail is saying. But here's what's interesting. They tied the knot in 2016. They got married. Right after they got married, Maxwell transferred the majority of her assets into a trust. The trust was controlled by Borgerson. Okay. In 2019, the same year that that Epstein was arrested and suicided, they transferred all the assets in the trust, then worth $22.5 million, were distributed to her husband, according to Manhattan federal court papers. Maxwell agreed to sign or co-sign, or I should say Borgerson agreed to co-sign on this bail package that was $28.5 million, but he is giving up $22.5 million. Now, he supposedly is this huge millionaire guy, but this is the exact amount of money that she put into the trust that she gave him control of, and then that was eventually transferred to him the same year that Epstein was arrested. You don't see like a weirdness in all of that?
No.
What do you mean? So he's using the amount of money that she gave him
I'm stunned.
To post her bail.
Yeah, because I don't know what the hell this proves, but this does not sit right that they got married. She put money in a trust under his control. Then the money got transferred the same time Epstein got arrested. And now here the same exact amount of money shows up again on federal court filings that this is what they're going to give up for the bail.
Well, maybe they had an understanding that only use my money. I don't want to involve you kind of thing.
I mean, maybe it is.
Use my money to post my bail. Yeah, I don't want anything from you. Are they still speaking terms, that kind of thing? Like, are they still?
I don't know.
Because if they're not, and he's still in control of her stuff, then it is her, it's her stuff. So maybe she just asked him, hey, just release my money, and that's all I want from you.
Here's why I don't think they're on speaking terms, because if your significant other was arrested, you would go see them, would you not? I mean, we know people are going to see her. Look at Janine's like, no, screw that guy. I can't stand my husband. No, but people are going to see her because we know her lawyers are going to see her. I mean, when we were in COVID, that was one thing. Now that we're kind of out of it and people are visiting again, you'd think he would go. I don't think there's any way that this guy could show up. That we know where the prison is. If he went there, I'm sure somebody from TMZ or somewhere would get this guy going in or out of the jail.
Well, I'm sure there's not reporters outside that jail 24/7.
Why not?
Because why?
Because
every day
to see who comes in and out of there and who's visiting. You don't think that TMZ stuck a low rung intern out there to be like snap?
I don't think that's how it works.
Sit in front.
I think it's more of a cop at the jail would tip off TMZ.
Yes, but I think at this point, knowing that she's in there, and I think between People and the National Enquirer and TMZ, there's somebody there. I feel like there is somebody there on a daily basis.
Well, maybe that's why, he's not been there.
Say that again, Janine.
I have to interject here.
Go ahead.
Clearly, he did not marry her because he loved her or for her looks. I'm sorry, but he is way better looking and he's rich. So she probably got him girls. I mean, come on.
You think he's too good looking for her?
Yes, I do. He's cute.
I think he looks like a big, disgusting nerd. Here's what's disturbing about Janine calling him cute. He looks a little bit like Janine's brother. I'm not going to lie to you. This was making this
think so?
uncomfortable
Janine's
for me.
Brother?
You don't think he looks like Janine's brother a little bit? Look how tall and goofy he is.
My brother's blonde and blue eyes. So
move it to your left. There you go. Oh my God, it does.
No,
you put
think
blonde
so?
hair on him? You put blonde hair on him. It's your
He
brother.
kind of embodies your brother. By the way, I'm not going to show pictures of your brother, but I could show pictures where your brother's making this same stupid face.
Okay, you know what? Send that picture out to the group and we'll see if you say, who does this look like? Okay. And we'll see.
I will do that.
But honestly, like, I just don't think that they married each other for them.
You never know.
Normal
I'm sure
marriage
he's been
reason.
investigated.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I'm with Janine. I mean, all the stuff is out there around him. But here's the weird thing. Like, I feel like this guy has been in that circle for a long time. It's not like he's an outsider. This guy's been rumored to be around the Clintons and all that. By the way, where this photo was taken, they met for the first time at an annual conference which focuses on the preservation of the Arctic, and featured speakers that year, including then U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Okay.
Where we go.
Oh, see, you love Hillary. I'm sorry.
I never said that. I just don't know what there's pictures of Epstein and Maxwell with everybody. They were rich. He's rich. He's around a million. All the rich people, the high roller people.
Yeah, but
around Trump.
It's
video and pictures around Trump.
Yeah, but that was a billion years ago. It's pretty interesting how every time this Clinton thing keeps popping up. Like I'm not going to say that Trump wasn't with this guy, because he was, but that was a very long time ago. And this Clinton,
it was not that long ago.
But this Clinton tie-in is
in the height of his crap, of all the Epstein crap.
I know, but you have to admit, though, there's been more tie-ins to Clinton between the daughter and Ghislaine and all that garbage. Meanwhile, we talked about how that she was put on suicide watch and they were waking her up every 15 minutes. Now we go to find out. And by the way, we're getting all this because they're unsealing the filing for the bail. Now we go to find out that Ghislaine has been tasked with keeping an eye on the well-being of other inmates. She has been made a suicide watch inmate, which means it's, by the way, the highest and most trusted responsibility you can give an inmate. and that she's in charge of making sure that nobody suicides themselves.
So someone who was on suicide watch is now watching others in case they commit suicide.
I feel like people are gonna freak out when they start hearing these things because you can't, like, all of us. We went from one end to she's gonna get out on bail and she's helping the guards watch other people. I don't know.
Why don't we just put Jared, the subway guy, in charge of daycare?
See,
what are we
but Frank.
Yeah.
The thing is, what she did was not criminal enough, meaning like she didn't kill someone. There was no drugs. It was whatever it was. So she's not considered like a dangerous criminal.
She was. No, not dangerous.
No.
Maybe not like a physically dangerous person. But what I'm saying is that in order to watch other people, she was a suicide risk. And not only that, she was in the same boat as Epstein, who committed suicide. I mean, doesn't that...
By the way, though, this is what I said last episode when I said this is the defense that her lawyers are going to start going for. They're going to start to... Ghislaine and Epstein have been synonymous with each other because of everything that's been going on, and they are going to start to drive a wedge in between them and say one has nothing to do with the other. That's what they're going to go with. I'm telling you.
I mean, everything has to do with everything with that. Like it's Maxwell. She and Epstein, they were intertwined. How do you untangle them?
Well, I don't know. One's a man, one's a woman. That's a big difference too. Even though she helped with it.
Yeah, her only defense
is what
we've been. Yeah, her only defense is what we've been saying is, she was a victim too, and she was made to do these things. That's her only defense.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're calling him the Canadian Jeffrey Epstein. This guy, Peter Nygaard, got arrested up there in Canadaville. Oh. Yeah, look at that guy. This guy looks like he was a statue in Dollywood. That's what this guy looks like.
He does. Wow, that hair.
Yeah, that's a pretty rough look. Apparently, he's got a building in the city or something, and he's this rich guy. It's amazing to me how many billionaires there are out there that we've just flat out never, ever heard of.
It's true.
I think we lost Frankie C there.
Well, at least he was like frozen with an attractive look on his face.
Yeah, but now I'm stuck with the one whose microphone's not working. Cannot hear a word you're saying. Now,
can you hear anything? Can you hear anything?
I can hear you now, but now all I see is the topic. You're gonna get a lot of guys excited.
Oh, I know. Sorry to everyone, but I'm using a new device tonight, so it's horrible.
Yeah, but what does this have to do with the podcast, Janine? We don't want to know about what you do in your own bedroom.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. We got to keep things all together. All right, while we wait for Frankie C to get back, let's do our hero soap read. This is Upside Down and the greatest soap. Here's the thing about here's what's fantastic about Hero Soap Company. It doesn't matter which way you use it. It all works in the shower. It is a bar of soap.
That's what she said.
Yes, exactly.
Front, back.
It is a bar of soap. It cleans the best ever. It is wonderful smelling. It has a fantastic aroma, whether you go with lavender or whether you go with peppermint and cool, which is one of my faves, spearmint, the charcoal. Again, we've been talking about the charcoal more and more. People have been saying that the charcoal is a pleasant surprise. So,
and also, finally, you smell good. Finally, the first time, since I met you, you actually smell like a human being. So that's good.
That's saying a lot because that's no soap has been able to tame this yet, except for Hero Soap Company. So, grab a bar. And when you do that, they send a bar over to one of the active troop members, which is really, really nice because Lord knows they need soap. They're out there defending our freedoms, so you can get quite sweaty doing that. Yeah. And of course, they use some of the funds as well to
Here it comes.
build homes for veterans mortgage free. Frank is drinking whiskey, and I have never in my life seen him drink a whiskey.
You know what that really is, right? That is watered down Coke.
Apple
Watered
juice?
down flat Coke.
It is not.
No, he's got the bottle. Hold the bottle up, big man. Look at him.
There it is, baby. Look how empty that is.
Look how little there is left in there. He is like, that's like a true alcoholic. Look at that.
No, this has been over the last couple of hours.
Yeah, but you're like a rum and coke guy at the wedding. You're like an embarrassing person to drink with.
That was when I was young and single. I was rum and coke, but not in my married days. My married days, I'm whiskey sour.
What are you saying? Your wife drove you to drink harder liquor? That's not a nice compliment for your wife.
Frank, you like Shirley Temples.
They're good too.
No, I remember you saying you like them. Like, that's a real fact, right?
Yeah, they are good. They are good. They taste good.
All right, let's talk about Tom Cruise.
I like sweet drinks.
We know you do, big guy. We know you do.
See?
What do you
Arizona.
Little White Russian? What can we get you? Some
A rum chata.
So what happened with Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise
This is a good story.
flipped the frig out on the set of Mission Impossible
7.
because I guess there were 2 crew members that were gathered around. This was a little while ago. They were gathered around a computer looking at something, and they were too close to each other, and they weren't wearing masks. So he had an absolute meltdown and started screaming at these guys and everybody else on the crew.
Standard. You're back here in Hollywood making movies right now because of us. Because they believe in us and what we're doing. I'm on the phone with every studio at night. Insurance companies.
So he's saying we are the gold standard. They're out there making movies in Hollywood because of us. I'm on the phone with the studios every single night. So here I think they're in London. I think he's in England.
I think that's
shooting.
where they were, yeah.
And he's basically saying that he's on the phone back in the States talking to people because this was the first movie that started shooting again during the pandemic. So he's basically saying we're an example for everybody else.
Love it.
Producers. And they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs.
Yeah, right? He said we are creating thousands of jobs.
Okay, not thousands. And I love when actors or actresses go off and then there's audio of it. It is the best thing in the world. So Merry Christmas.
It's probably
to
thousands.
myself. You think it's thousands.
Janine.
Yeah.
Janine.
Extras and everything.
Merry Cruisemas is what I like to say.
Oh.
You know, I actually met Cruz once.
You met Tom Cruise once?
Swear to God. He was
Believe it.
filming a movie near where I worked in the city, and there was thousands of people watching. So I was like, I have to go see. And so I was like, that's Tom Cruise. That's Tom motherfucking Cruise, right? And now I never thought he was like attractive or whatever. But he stood. I have a picture of me and him.
Wait, you didn't think he's attractive? Why, he doesn't look enough like your brother? Go ahead.
Ho. That's 2.
Wow. You got me. No, but I was like, can we take a picture? And he was like, sure. He's like, how are you? I was like, what? Because like when I get into that celebrity mode, it's nothing you've seen before with me. That is when I'm flabbergasted. I like using that word. And I just I'm in shock. And I just don't even know what to do. So,
where's this picture?
You have a picture with Tom Cruise?
I'll send it to you guys.
I've never seen you and Tom Cruise.
This was I want to say this was in 2010 or 11, maybe
Dude,
12.
Are you like 2 feet taller than him?
No, he
Probably.
actually wasn't as short as I thought. And when I saw him, I was like, you know what? He's not bad looking. But I will have to say that him doing this is not surprising at all because he's connected to that whole Scientology bullshit. So he's nuts. Okay.
He may be nuts, but I agree with him in this.
You do?
I'm 100% on Tom Cruise wagon.
Damn it!
Oh, here we go.
I can't believe I'm on Frank's side. I agree with him too.
They're doing all this work, and you're gonna have two assholes blow it for everybody by doing something stupid.
All right, well, let's finish the tape.
Let's
finish the tape. There's more.
And if you don't do it, you're fired. And I see you do it again, you're gone. And anyone on this crew does it. That's it. And you too. And you too. And you. Don't you ever do it again. That's it. No apologies. You can tell it to the people that are losing their homes because our industry is shut down. It's not going to put food on their table or pay for their college education. That's what I sleep with every night.
So he says, that's what I sleep with every night. He goes on and on, but he basically says the same thing. It gets to a point where you're kind of like, all right, guy, you made your point.
All right, after a while, it gets uncomfortable and ridiculous. I mean, he could have just yelled for like 15 seconds and got his point across. But to go off like that for a long time, for like 2-3 minutes or whatever it is, it gets very...
I'll be honest.
Go ahead.
So that's a work situation, right?
Yeah.
And, okay, it's Tom Cruise, whatever. But like you said, enough is enough. And you don't have to, like, keep yelling. And sure as you know it, I've definitely been through that where someone's been yelling on rants. Crazy rants.
Yeah.
And so these people, I do feel bad for them because they probably didn't even realize what we're doing. They probably are friends.
Maybe.
And we're around this. We don't have to really wear a mask. We're comfortable in front of each other. And that's it. He just went on and on and on.
I agree with that.
These are coworkers.
I think he went too far. And I also think that, I think it's too much to scream at them and call them out. I feel like you got to do one or the other. If you call them out, by the way, I think calling them out is more effective and it's more embarrassing. When you get called out for something that you screwed up in front of everybody, to me, that's worse than getting screamed at, But here's the thing. And this is what this guy is screaming about. He says, and he goes on to say and repeat again, I'm on the phone with the heads of the major studios like Warner Brothers and Paramount and Universal. They're all calling me. They're all checking in to see what we're doing and how we're doing it and how we're able to keep going. And they're seeing, because again, it's a business where it's like, okay, they're doing this, so then we can do this, or we could do this better, or we can, now we know. So basically they're leading the way for everybody else to get back into production, and he's on the phone. So look, this is what people aren't going to understand, but when you're the guy, there's a lot of responsibility that falls on you. And with Tom Cruise, he is so huge. He's not even the guy on this movie. He's the guy for the entire industry. You know what I mean? Whether he's self-appointed himself or he's making it a bigger deal than it actually is, I kind of think it's true, that he feels that it's his responsibility what all these extras and grips and lighting guys and sound guys that aren't him, that aren't making millions of dollars, that are on the sets every day grinding it out. He feels a responsibility for that. And people, listen, again, when you're the guy, right, it's a different story. It all falls on your shoulders. You don't want people that don't have as much responsibility wrecking that for you. I can understand this because I had a nice flourishing radio career. And then I went and made the mistake of letting a meth head and somebody with bad internet come and basically ruin my life. And
I may be a meth head.
Yeah, and I might have bad internet.
I resent those comments.
I'm just saying, I can relate to Tom Cruise here on a level that you two can't really relate to. Now, if you want to tell me you can relate to the guys who weren't wearing the COVID masks, that I can understand. That I can get.
I relate to Tom Cruise. I understand his point, and I get it. And he was 100% in the right.
You shouldn't, because you're the COVID guy in this situation. You're a no mask guy.
Why am I the no mask guy?
Because I'm Tom Cruise.
Huh?
Oh, you're Tom Cruise.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay.
I had the whole thing on my shoulders. People loved me. And then all of a sudden it was, why is that meth head making faces? And why is that other guy turning into a Rainbow Bright robot and all sorts of,
But if you listen to yourself before, it went from I had a huge, then it was burgeoning, then it got knocked down to nice career in radio.
My
started
delivery,
out up here,
and
then you went down to burgeoning, and then down to nice.
My delivery, I may have botched the delivery. I didn't. I should have gone low from the beginning. I should have. I went too big. I get it.
Oh no, but blame us. That's fine.
No, but I do stand by that though. I think that you guys ruined everything, and God knows what I could have been if I didn't say, okay, you guys can come on and do this with me.
Probably way better than you're doing.
No, all kidding aside though.
Tune into the Frank on Air podcast with Frankie C and Janine, and maybe now and then we'll bring on someone named Anthony.
Doesn't have to be this Anthony. Could be any Anthony.
No, any Anthony.
They do know other Anthonys that could be just as good. Yeah.
You don't think that my brother-in-law would have been a good? Oh yeah, I don't like that. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if he has the right pitch.
No.
I like him better than I like me, so I'm on his side on this particular instance. But no, all kidding aside though, like I do kind of get where he's coming from. He is kind of responsible for. You don't think so? Janine's not buying this at all. I can't believe it.
I mean, yes. So obviously they're only worried about lawsuit. That's it. You know that's it. So they're scared
doesn't have to be
suing them for getting COVID, right?
I don't know if that's. I don't know.
Because if everybody gets sick, they got to shut down production. They lose millions. And not only that, if everybody gets sick, they could, potentially people could die. This is not a BS disease. Plus, it would. They're during filming, I'm sure they have to relax some of the rules a little bit. Like if there's a scene with two people, I'm sure they're not wearing masks in the scene. So they have to tread lightly when they do this sort of thing, and they're doing it the right way. And for someone to screw up so easily, that needlessly screw up. It's irresponsible.
Right, like he feels like he's responsible. I get that, but he didn't have to go off like that. That's the whole thing. But he's Tom Cruise, so.
Yeah, that's where and that's where the problem lies. It's like you can't, it's because he is who he is. That's probably why he went on for too long. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Plus, we don't know the full story. Maybe these guys, it happened to them before. Maybe he warned them a couple times. Who knows?
Yeah.
But this could have been it.
I genuinely think he is coming from a good place, and that he is thinking about everybody else, because he's like one of these psychopaths that does his own stunts.
He's a genuinely nice guy, though, is from what I hear.
Yeah, but he does all these things that aren't necessary because he's.
Frank, he's not though. Frank, he's not.
All right, now you said you met him, and you said you could understand why. Did you see something on the set that day that?
No, from when he dated and married Katie Holmes. And that was back in 2006. But there was he was very controlling, she said, or not she said, but it was known to be that he was very controlling towards her.
He might be a dick in marriage and in relationships. I get that. But but in public, dealing with people and dealing with I've heard nothing but he's a nice guy, and he makes you feel like
he was nice to me.
Part of the
he didn't have to take a picture with me,
That's all I'm saying. I don't know about his personal life, but in public, I've heard that he's a really nice person.
I just think it's hard to be like, people will be like, oh, here's this big celebrity and blah, 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 and he's being a baby and everything like that. I think people overlook greatly the fact that, there a lot of responsibility does fall on these people. They're getting paid a ton of money, and
Yeah.
That's true. You don't know what his deal is with the like the movie, whatever.
Yeah, but even still though, like the guy doesn't need the money. He doesn't need to work anymore. He doesn't need to do this stunt where he breaks his leg or ankle or whatever he broke. He does it. The guy friggin' loves it. He wants to be doing it, and he knows that he's responsible for employing other people, and that's a responsibility that people can't understand. That they don't really factor into why you have these freakouts and these meltdowns, and it's like, that's basically
because they feel responsible for everybody. That's
Everybody's there to film him. This thing revolves around Tom Cruise being there. If Tom Cruise isn't there, nobody works.
It doesn't work. That's why I hate when people are like, oh, Oprah's such a bitch, or Ellen this, or and we've criticized Ellen and stuff like that. If you're an asshole, you deserve criticism, but people don't get, like, you see it in your own workplace. Like, people will be like, oh, the boss is a real dick, or the boss is it. And sometimes the boss is, but sometimes the boss is also like looking at the numbers and going, well, shit, if so-and-so doesn't pick up the work and do their thing, I'm going to have to let go 3-4 people because, shit ain't working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then you go outside and you see so-and-so slacking off and doing nothing. You're gonna flip out on them because, hey, do you know how many people are dependent on you doing the right thing?
Yeah,
because they're smoking weed in the warehouse. Like, come on. I mean, not from personal experience or anything.
Who knows? You never know.
Or
not me, but other people.
Or if you're found drinking on the job, and let's say you found drinking something that you don't normally drink, but you're only drinking it because you had to buy it to get your favorite band's album once.
Right, exactly. Like, if you find yourself that you bought the stock of your band's whiskey, like, and you have UD every night.
When we started the show, and Frank was like, I'm drinking whiskey, I was like, who is this person, and who have I been friends with for the last 30 years?
The only reason I'm actually drinking whiskey.
Wait. And then we go to find out that it's Metallica's whiskey, and then it all makes sense. The only thing that could have made more sense is if it was fucking Darth Vader's whiskey. That's the only way it would have made more sense.
That is a product that is that will be bought by me if it comes out. But the only reason I'm actually drinking whiskey, it was on the table because I, before we filmed this, my other job, we had like a end of the year holiday toast kind of thing.
Really?
So I was on like a Zoom meeting with everybody, and we all kind of cheers to the end of the year.
I can't imagine anything that would be worse than what you just. I would rather be screamed at by Tom Cruise for not wearing a mask than have to go.
I would love to be screamed at by Tom Cruise.
To office parties are torture enough. Now you're gonna make me take part in this in my own fucking living room.
You see,
it never ends with these companies. You can't
relate to the common person because you just don't like being around anybody. You're just a miserable SOB.
If that were me, I would be like, what? I can't. The Zoom's, the internet's not working.
And would you believe my internet didn't crap out once on me, of course?
I'm sure it didn't.
Couldn't even use it as an excuse to get out of it.
Unbelievable.
Worked perfectly.
Let me give the bosses of America out there a little bit of advice. By the way, I just defended you in the whole Tom Cruise thing. Don't put your employees through a fucking virtual holiday party. Stop it.
It was optional.
How many people went? I bet you everybody showed up.
Not everybody. No, there were, out of like 12 of us in the department, I'd say maybe 9 were there.
Wait, was this like your own little department, or was this like the big bosses?
Yeah, it wasn't the whole company.
All right, that's a little bit different. I could see hanging with, like, if your department's cool.
We're all friends. We all like each other, so it was fine.
That's fine. Are we boring you, Janine? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, I'm tired. Today's been a rough day.
In the corner of my eye, I see Janine flipping out over there, and then Anthony points it out, and I look over, and you stopped. So I don't know what the hell you were doing, but when I rewatch this, I'm going to figure it out. What were you doing?
I don't know, slapping myself.
By the way, I hate this show. I only rewatch it for Janine's reactions that I miss while I'm hosting and doing things. Yeah, because there's so much shit. There's so much little lines. I don't know if anybody's really noticed, but I really don't listen to Frank or Janine. It's very hard to, like, because, just doing stuff. And sometimes I listen back and I hear like these little things and they're so funny. And then all you hear is dopey me come in and say something stupid that has nothing to do with the funny line that just came right before me. So
yeah, just pay attention. Anybody watching, pay attention as Janine and I are talking. You'll see Anthony looking away at something.
And go, yeah, then, that's funny. Okay. Oh, yeah, right.
And then, after we're done saying what we have to say, there'll be like a 2 or 3 second gap of no noise. And then he'll come back and go,
ow.
Yeah, so Tom Cruise was yelling at something and something. But
that's Tom Cruise.
It'll be that he wasn't really listening to what we were saying.
Our second channel is available.
There it is.
Right, there you go.
Don't forget to subscribe to our second channel. Don't forget this. Was that what you were talking about? I didn't hear. I missed it. I was reading something.
Might as well have been.
More important. Anyway, clips of the show and single topic stories over there at the Anthony on Air Clips channel. So go subscribe right now. We're getting a Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson. Wait for it, damn it. It's not actually a biopic. It is a Hulu series.
Oh, God.
We were all clamoring for it, and finally they gave it to us.
Well, I'll say this. The documentary was great, right? Wasn't it? Remember? They were on the boat?
No,
it
didn't
was.
see it.
Yes.
Didn't see it, and I'm not sure
it was.
I'm going to say something to you, Frank, and I don't want you to get offended here. But
okay, this means it's a guaranteed offensive comment. Go ahead.
If you've made it this long in your life without watching that movie, don't, because you're just going to feel bad about your own equipment. There's nothing.
Yeah, Frank, sorry.
Wait, it's a documentary. Which documentary are you talking about?
The Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson one?
Yeah, the one they filmed
on their own. Are you talking about
the
actual tape that they made on their own, or are you talking about a documentary that someone made?
It was a joke. If you weren't half in the bag with this Metallica whiskey.
All right, I gotta go.
Do you call it whiskey? What is it called?
It's called Blackened.
Whisktallica? Blackened?
Wow.
Yes, it's the name of one of their songs. That's also the name of their record company.
This year, with everything that's going on, I mean, come on. Unnecessary.
What's unnecessary?
Insensitive.
The album came out in the 80s, pal. And the whiskey came out like 2 years ago.
Still, if Aunt Jemima and all the other brands can't survive, why are we letting Metallica slide? That's what
exactly. I mean, come on, just cancel them.
Seems like a double standard. But you bring it up at the next white supremacy meeting you go to and see what they say.
Wow.
Sebastian Stan and Lily. Don't act like I'm the one with the blackened product here. Come on now.
What was that about?
Sebastian Stan and Lily James are going to be playing Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee. What do you think?
No, she's not even blonde. And he... I mean, if he gets like those fake tattoos over him, maybe he could look like him.
Does anybody really want to know the story of Pamela Anderson and Tommy? Why don't we just get the story of Pamela Anderson and Kid Rock too while we're at it?
The thing is, see, I think this guy can pull it off, but they're going to have to get a mold made out of the Washington Monument and stick it in his pants if it's going to be at all accurate.
Hey-o.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's what I'm guessing. That's my thing right there.
Ooh.
We should come up with a title for it. Is there a title released for this thing yet?
Let's see here. Rob Siegel will serve as writer. 8 episodes. Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg are producing. That explains a lot.
Of course they are.
This was a high at 3 a.m. in the morning idea. You know what we should do.
Yes.
Can't do this.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Frank's was pretty good.
Oh,
yeah.
wait. Did you say it was Seth Rogen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I met him too. Do you remember that? It was like.
Did you ever work at your job?
No. Well, no. That was actually I was actually in an airport. I met him.
Yeah.
And he was also very nice because I kept taking pictures of us, and I was like, "Wait, I don't like that one of me. Hold on. Can you take one more?"
All right. This is what scares me about all of this. Like, I've seen pictures of Janine with celebrities. She's now named 2 and 2 pretty big ones where I haven't seen the photos. And now I'm worried about how many photos we haven't seen. It feels like
I
there's
don't think
a
I've seen
problem.
a single one.
Yeah.
I will send you two both these pictures because he was actually nice too, Seth Rogen. But I felt bad because when I went over to him, no one else did, and or like no one else before me. And then when I
You
went over to
caused it.
him, yeah, I was like, "Oh, sorry, dude."
You broke the dam.
I did.
So, what did you ever meet anybody that was a jerk?
I actually met. He wasn't a
Wait,
jerk.
before you say it, are we allowed to call someone a jerk for?
Yes.
Are we allowed to do that?
Well, he wasn't a jerk. He just, I don't think he knew what to do. I saw Mr. Big also in the airport, and I was going away on a business
Chris
trip.
Noth.
Who's Mr. B? Oh, the guy from the Sex
and
and the City? Okay.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
So I was going on a business trip with my boss, and we were in like one of those like a convenience store, and I went to grab a magazine, and it fell. And the guy standing next to me picked it up and gave it to me, and it was him. And I was like this, what? And then I was like, thank you. And then like he looked at me, and I said to him, I know who you are, but I'm not going to tell anyone, okay?
Oh, you're a psycho. You're a
creepy.
certified lunatic.
That was creepy.
Oh my God.
And then I was
How
like,
did his security guards not knock you out right away?
I did not. And he was like, I remember he was like, okay. And like, so it wasn't really like, but like, it was kind of a weird like response. And then I like about faced and just ran. And my boss was like online paying. And then he got off the line. He's like, what happened to you? I'm in a sweat. My hair's like all over. He's like, what happened? I'm like, I just met Mr. Big. And he's like, who? I'm like, Mr. Big. So now he starts screaming, Mr. Big. Right? So we get online again, and Mr. Big is in front of us. And I'm like, don't you fucking say anything. Don't you say anything. And he's like, Mr. Big.
And your boss sounds like a real crack up.
And then that was it. But he wasn't nasty, but he just had a weird response because I had a weird reaction too. So
Yeah, I
Can't really blame him for that one.
I don't put any of this on him.
I know you are, but I'm not going to tell anyone.
Yeah, this is 100% on Janine.
That's what he wants to do, is make secrets friends with a perfect stranger with like psst.
What I wanted to say was I'm trying not to freak out, and I'm not going to make a scene.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
The problem was you were freaking out while you were saying this.
And it's very nice to meet you, but I couldn't. It was just like I said, something comes over me. I'm starting to sweat now just thinking about it. Oh my God.
Was this during the height of
No.
Sex and the City?
No.
After.
This is about 4 or 5 years ago.
All right.
Meanwhile, what makes this story all the better is it wasn't actually Mr. Big. It was Carl, the fucking post office guy from Long Island, who's like, what is this crazy woman talking about?
I did take a picture of him, not with him, but of him.
Okay, but see, you know,
and
how,
then you snapped a picture of him, you psycho.
do you know how alcoholics like they don't get messed up at bars, like they go home and drink by themselves? Like I feel like this is what's happening right now. Like we're getting like all these secret stories from Janine of like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
are you sporting Christmas nails there? Hold
I am.
Hold them fingers up to the camera. Look at this. Look how festive.
Nice.
That's either
Very-
Christmas
very
or
cool.
Italian pride. I can't really tell. Maybe a little of both.
Pride.
All right.
Oh, it's Christmas and I have Christmas earrings too.
Wait,
Don't
you
know
have
what you're
Christmas
saying, but
earrings
sounds
too?
Good. Oh, little Santa Clauses.
They're little Santas.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Very nice.
All right. Well, now that I'm in a complete sweat because I started talking about Mr. Big, I'm not even kidding you. That's embarrassing.
It was 5 years ago. I mean, do you get into this kind of a sweat talking about your own husband?
No, absolutely not. Come on.
Okay.
Okay. But it was just the fact that we were in some kind of, I out with terminal. And you know when you're not expecting something and then something happened and before you can't even like process it, it just calls come rumbling at once. That's how I felt. Because I was like, oh, thank you. I'll send you that picture too of him. Thank you.
All right.
One of my only real starstruck moments was when I met Mike Richter from the Rangers. You were
Really?
there.
Who? I'm just kidding. I know who that is. Sorta.
You were there, and I got his autograph on my jersey.
I was there?
Yeah, at Madison Square Garden. We met him outside when the Rangers were coming out, and he signed my jersey. I was wearing my Mike Richter jersey.
Yep.
And he signed it on my back.
I remember that.
That was really cool.
I'm trying to think if I've ever had a starstruck moment.
You can't tell me you weren't starstruck with Howard Stern.
You know what? It wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't starstruck, but it was okay. I'll tell you what happened with that. When he came in, I didn't feel weird about it. We were talking and everything was perfectly normal. The first time I had to go on the air when he was in the room,
that had to be nerve-wracking.
It wasn't nerve-wracking, but it was like, this guy is one of the best, if not the best, to ever do this. And here I am cracking the mic like the little fake shit that I am. I couldn't do this in front of him.
I love it.
I had that like kind of go through my head as I was doing it, and I was like, I should have been like, I felt like I should have just turned the mic off and walked out of the room and left.
Yeah, I'm not doing this in front of you. This is ridiculous. Why the hell am I? Why would you even try?
Or just throw down the mic and just leave. Bye.
It's like,
this isn't fair.
It's like if you've been like doing extra work for 10 years and De Niro comes up to you and says, can you do the monologue from what, can you do the Goodfellas monologue for me? And you're like, no, there's no, yeah.
A little bit. A little bit. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, it just can't be done. I didn't have that moment. Yeah, but that was really, I can't remember too many others. I interviewed Greg Allman once, and that was cool. I wasn't starstruck, but I definitely felt like a 10-year-old, just like asking him.
It's crazy when there's a legend around you,
right?
Like when it's someone that's just out, at another level, just another universe.
I've had that a couple of times where it's like, you have no business being on this show. Like, you have no business being here.
Right. Like, what are you doing here? Why are you on this show?
They were like, do you want Greg Allman? I'm like, yeah, I want Greg Allman. Yeah, sure. And they were like, all right, he's going to call in like Tuesday at 3. And I'm like, get the fuck out of it. Like, come on. Like, for what?
No, he's not.
And he was doing a date here, but the thing was, it was sold out. He didn't even have to do the press. He wanted to do it anyway. It was weird. It was so weird.
Hey. Some people are down to earth, man, no matter how big they get.
Yeah. Oh, I did have that moment too with Bill Cosby. We talked about that, and that was before all the stuff came out about him. I was like, holy crap! Again, it was another thing where it's like, I don't belong in this room right now.
Yeah, when he was a legend, that's what it was.
Do you remember Frank and I once saw Prince walk through the airport,
LaGuardia Airport?
Oh, that's cool.
Now that was cool because we discovered that day that Prince was 2'4". That's how tall he is.
Just about. And his hair was about the same size.
Exactly.
2'4".
And you remember
he right by us.
Everybody stopped. Like the whole, and by the way, this is not Tuscaloosa Airport. This is an airport this was LaGuardia in New York City. It's huge. And I just remember everybody just stopping and watching him walk through.
I remember he brushed by us. I think like his arm brushed my back, and he must have brushed yours as well. And I remember the two of us just standing there at the X-ray line holding our shoes while Prince and his entourage just walked right by, right through security with no X-ray, no nothing. They just walked right in, and we're standing there with our shoes in our hands. Like, I've never seen a more clearer vision of the division of classes than right here.
But didn't he, if I'm not mistaken, get on we were flying up to Canada. Didn't he get on an Air Canada flight because somebody said that like his private jet or what, I don't know, whatever the circumstances was, he missed his flight or he missed his connection or something happened that he wound up on the flight
I don't remember that.
I think they said he went on the flight right before ours because in New York, there's a flight leaving every hour going somewhere. That's how many people are running around out there. But I just remember thinking like, what is that going to be like sitting on that plane? Because again, Prince has no
Imagine that.
business being on a commercial airplane. You know what I mean? Like, what was that
Yeah,
like
Prince
for people?
has his own, had his own private everything.
Yeah.
Has been well deserved.
Yeah.
But that's a huge step down.
All right, let's leave it there. Little celebrity name dropping towards the end. Appreciate you guys watching so much. Subscribe to the second channel. Don't forget to. By the way, merch is doing so well. I can't even tell you how. Like we've never sold as many shirts as we've been selling coming up to the holiday season. So that makes me really happy that people are actually giving gifts and stuff, which is really, really great. We actually had a banner day for the Show Me Potato Salad rainbow design, which was
Nice.
honestly our lowest seller. And for whatever reason, like in the last 3 weeks, people have been buying it. So I'm glad people are enjoying it. And please wear it with health. Love it. Yeah. I love that the design is working. So go grab that. Link in the description below for all our merch. And don't forget to visit our pals over at Hero Soap Company. Buy the loved one in your life some soap. You can get a subscription. It's about $100. You get somebody soap for an entire year. Nice deal. You save 20% when you use the promo code Anthony. So get on that while you can. In a couple of days, we'll see you guys again. Have a good night.
Bye.